Welcome to Black Love Matters, where this serves as a therapy session for figuring out adulthood,
loving each other,
and finding our inner Barack and Michelle.
Or Jay-Z and Beyonce, or this episode, how about Plies and all the women he talking to on Instagram? Do y'all know what I'm talking about?
Gorgeous.
We put it on our, actually I did. Nyambi kind of took over Instagram the last few days, if y'all can't tell. And I always call them Plies. Why I call them Flies? Plies, my bad. He had this thing. It must be a new single or something. But he'd be talking to the camera, and I guess he's talking to his lady or this woman of interest. And he'd be like, hey, gorgeous. And he had one when he was in a bubble bath. And he said, come here, gorgeous. I'm going to throw these bubbles on you. What did he say?
I'm going to bubble the shit out of you.
I'm going to bubble the shit out of you. Come here, gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Getting this hot bath. Oh, it's hot. Hey, gorgeous. And he slid in.
Gorgeous.
And then he got another one where he be like, hey, gorgeous, I make you some breakfast. You know, he don't say breakfast. He's breakfast.
Gorgeous.
For Christmas. This not here, not Christmas, Christmas. And then he said, I got some Cinnamon Toast Crunch. He got Dunkin' Donuts, eggs, and sausage. Now tell me what you want, gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
You get whatever you want. And then the last one was, I guess gorgeous was heading off to work. And he said, gorgeous, I got to head to work. No, he was going to work, allegedly.
Oh, what that nigga do for a living?
Be Plies.
Exactly.
Just be great in his own world. And he was like, gorgeous, I gotta go to work. Oh, okay, let me come oil you up, put some lotion on you. And he's showing, talking about this the best lotion in the world. He gonna put on some Jergens. Knowing Jergens dry your ass out. Jergens shea butter. And he gonna rub it on his hand. He's like, let me get your thighs, let me get your leg, let me go get that booty. And he like slapped him, but like a butt in the air, but like it was fake. Then he's like, all right, there, gorgeous, gonna be gorgeous. He had me dying this whole weekend. It was like just one of them things when he said it. I had to continue watching.
Gorgeous.
And then one of our it in the ass Black Love Matters family talking about low key, he would have got me with that. I forgot who that was. We got to look at the name. Sis was like, you know what? That might have worked a little bit.
Gorgeous.
I ain't gonna lie. He had me. I was like, gorgeous. What is he talking about? Like, now, Plies. Maybe if he did, but maybe if Niram came with that gorgeous. I'm glad I seen this. But if Niram started talking about gorgeous stuff, I'm like, who, me? I'm go or him talking about wipe the sleep out your eyes. They're gorgeous. The old day go a little crust.
Gorgeous.
Oh my goodness. So I'm just like, but the thing is, we always talking about rappers don't be treating us right, ladies, and they don't be putting us first, blah, blah, blah. I can't even hate him on this.
Gorgeous.
It's like I just couldn't look away.
Come here, gorgeous.
And of course, he getting close to the screen, and he got all them gold teethus, not teeth, them as teethuses.
Teethuses.
And he doing this bat talk. Oh my goodness. Plies. I don't keep calling that boy Flies. Plies Instagram is whole bunch of hood. I don't even know. He'd be in the car and just be talking crazy. I know one of my friends, I first got introduced to Plies Instagram when my friend sent a picture of him. He was like doing the bathtub, but he had like a gallon of Popeye's iced tea. And like he was pouring it in like wine glasses or some shit. Just doing real nigga shit.
Gorgeous.
And ever since then, he has been my guilty pleasure.
I'm going to bubble your ass to death. Gorgeous.
It couldn't be, put it that way. Niram, I love you, my man. If I couldn't date him seriously, but he the type, he'll be like the curveball for Nyambi. I'll be like, hey y'all, meet Plies. And they're like, what the fuck? And then what he gonna say?
Come here, gorgeous.
I'm like, all right.
Gorgeous, I'm a podcast your ass to death. Come here.
But if y'all need a little bit of a smile, something to crack you up, go ahead to either our Instagram or go to Plies Instagram. I'm sure he got more gorgeous on there. I'm sure it's promotion for some type of single, but I thought it was hilarious. What about you, Niram? What you think about it?
Gorgeous, I'm a podcast the shit out of you.
Come on.
I'm going to get you that chai tea.
I'm sure I'm drinking this chai tea from Trader Joe's, and it's the truth.
I'm going to get you some pineapples and grapes and feed it to you, gorgeous.
Okay. Come on, Niram. Are you done?
No. And then I'm going to oil your scalp up, gorgeous. Come here.
And that's why he just kept saying more and more inappropriate things. And not inappropriate in a bad way, but just like, I don't know if that's sexy. Open your legs, spread your legs, and get that putty cat. I'm like, oh my God, what? Putty cat?
Come on, sit between my legs so I can oil your scalp, gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh my God. Again, not bad things. Thank you. I appreciate it, but I don't know if I want that come from my man in sexy talk.
You want almond oil or you want shea butter?
Shea butter's the seal, honey.
I can seal your
All right. Who are you? Who is you?
Jojoba.
Who is you?
I'm Neon Gorgeous.
And I'm Nyambi.
And this is episode 87, niggas.
It is 87. How was your holiday? How was the Christmas? Did everyone survive? Did anybody get cussed out at the Christmas table? I think a few folks at my family event got cussed out, but I wasn't there because the Lord made a way.
Mm-hmm. And it's Christmas. It's Christmas.
It's past.
And it's Kwanzaa.
It is Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa.
Harambe, niggas. Harambe, niggas. Harambe, 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 niggas.
Nero.
And while y'all niggas Harambe,
come on, can we come back?
Leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Stitcher. Tis the season for giving. So go ahead and give us.
Giving over because them credit cards coming in T-minus 2 weeks.
Look at
them
him.
Statements is coming in, okay?
5-star reviews don't cost you a thing. Mm-hmm. So tis the season.
Please, the season. Rent is due, in 3 days?
Look at him.
The first.
Tis the season.
Rent is due.
To give them 5-star reviews up on Apple Podcasts and on Stitcher. Yeah. And then follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Black Love Matters. Remember, that's Black with no K, BLAC.
Yes.
Love Matters. Mm-hmm. Tis the season.
Yes.
You got to check in?
Yeah, I got to check in. So we actually recording this a little bit before Christmas, y'all. So I won't have kind of our full Christmas update to probably later on in the week, if not next week. But at the point we're at now, we're actually recording on Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm. And I'm finally got into the spirit of Christmas, right? Mm-hmm. As y'all know, I was in my funk. I was definitely in my funk. And I was not sleeping well. I just wasn't, I don't know, even with the shit that's going on, now y'all be known to bounce back, but I was just not bouncing back from this one. I just did not have holiday cheer. Niram was over here starving because I wasn't making no food, and he'll come to me every meal and say, "What we gonna eat?" And I'll be like, "Captain Crunch, honey," because I'm not moving. So, but I'm finally getting kind of over this hump and being, just a little bit more positive and, just remaining centered, right? In the idea that, this world didn't provide me with my happiness or joy, right? And I can't allow the world to take it away. So really just regaining that ownership again and taking that ownership and realizing that happiness and joy is a choice, right? It's not something that, it's also not something that can be given. It's not the right word, that you gain in a passive manner, right? Happiness and joy is something that has to be actively done, sought after, feel it's something you actually have to be in. So I'm finally kind of coming around to that and being in my shit, as I'm growing through this experience. I think before I was going through it, now I'm growing through it and just owning that. So it's good. And in the next few days, as I said in the other podcast, I'm going to spend it with a few friends. And one of my friends, she has a baby, or I guess not, he's a toddler now. But I think just being around some of that toddler energy and some of that innocence, right? Mm-hmm. Where it only takes little things to get them excited, right, honey? Yeah. I say he's at the age where you can buy him a gift, but low key, he's probably more excited about opening the gift. I think the pastor said that. Opening the gift, the box, than the actual gift. Mm-hmm. Right? So I need to be in that type of zone where it ain't about what's inside. It's just about the process.
Right.
And I'm enjoying this process. So I think it's going to be nice to be just around her and her little ones. And after that, we're going to go see Nia. And it's Nia's birthday. And my goal is to rip and run him like the old days till he tired. I think on the podcast when Niam and Niram was on, what was that back? Was that back in September already? Yeah. They always tease me because I'm known to run. And my goal is to get them tired. So by the time we get back in the house, all I want them to say is, I think I'm going to go to bed now. So Nia, get ready.
Jesus.
We going to do a little bit of ripping and running. And also I think it might be good for me just to get outside of New England for a few days. I think maybe just the energy of New England is just wearing me. Or just the I don't want to say the people, but y'all know how it is in white ass New England. Sometimes you just look at people like, what the fuck? We was out Christmas Eve, I know. And people was just in their weird New England form. You ever just sit back and look at people? They be like, hey, bitch, what are you thinking about? Like, in what world did you think this was okay? I will say our cashier we had at Trader Joe's was pleasantly, I almost told him he wasn't from here.
Yeah.
He was too nice.
Bro was going over and beyond.
To the point where I had to check myself, right?
And say, where are you from? Because you just too damn nice, bro.
Too nice, right? And making me engage. Because, I'm used to, I treat them like they treat me, honey. We go to the cashier. We don't want to engage. That's fine. Here's my credit card.
Right. This brother's asking all types of engaging.
He's looking at the food we getting, talking
right.
about this good.
Ooh, this food good.
Yeah. Or
you got this bag. Where you get this bag from?
He told you about the bag?
Yeah. Ooh, you got a refrigerated bag. Oh, yeah, brother.
And speaking of, finally did some grocery shopping. That's how I always know when I'm on the up and up. When I get to grocery shopping and meal prepping and thinking, attentively and intentionally on what I'm eating, that's how I know I'm up and up. And, of course, I went to my favorite grocery store, Trader Joe's, and bought up all the shit. I think the highlights from this trip is the chai iced tea. And what else did I buy? I didn't buy too much junk.
I can tell you one thing. That garlic dip from Trader Joe's.
It's so good.
The only thing you can get close to that is being in Michigan at a
you almost said the restaurant?
Yeah, I almost said the name of the restaurant. But like a Afghani.
A Middle Eastern restaurant.
Middle Eastern.
Preferably from Beirut, honey. You got to narrow it down. Mm-hmm.
Restaurant. Yeah. With that good ass garlic dip.
That burn your mouth. Take all the impurities from you.
Sure is.
So that was good. And then also just being productive. So the folks who sent us the email about y'all packages. So the folks who sent us the email about those sweet potato pies, we put them in the mail. We froze them. So eat them. Let us know how you like them. And also the folks who sent us the email about the baby gifts, that also went in the mail today too. So let us know when y'all get it so we make sure y'all got it too, okay? Mm-hmm. And send pictures of them children as they grow up. Nyambi got a soft spot for that. And then lastly, when I was in my rut, the only productive thing I did was dig more into astrology.
Okay.
And what I discovered was I pulled up my birth chart, and I always looked at it, but it's been a while since I looked at it. And I realized, of course, I'm a Leo.
Yep.
So that's where my rising sign is. But I discovered what my moon sign is.
And that is?
Cancer. Jesus.
Why you say it like that? I'm a Cancer.
That explains so many things. So our sun sign, or like our astrology sign, the sign that you kind of come off as, right? So where you were born, right? Mm-hmm. That's kind of your outwardly personification, right? Mm-hmm. So that's how you kind of present yourself to others. Maybe that's even how others perceive you, right? That's kind of your outwardly appearance, that's how you want to engage in the world, right? But they have this other sign that you're born under called your moon sign. And your moon sign is kind of tied to your emotions and how you navigate more of that private side of you. Mm-hmm. So if your sun sign is how others see you, your moon side is kind of how you see yourself, how you process emotion, how you kind of go through that type of thing. And there's other things, like there's different ascending signs that's connected to all different stuff too, right? But that moon sign was a Cancer. And y'all know how I be digging on Nerum and them Cancers. And I've been totally all in my Cancer feelings. And not only that, not only is my moon sign Cancer, but Cancer is ruled by the moon. So it's even deeper.
I don't know what you're saying.
Right? So the house sign, so that's what I'm saying. I got two signs who are heavy, right? So the Leo sign is my outwardly sign and it's ruled by the sun, right? And then I got this moon sign, which is Cancer, that's ruled by the moon. So it's like I have these extremes in feelings and outward expressions. So as a Leo, I want to be kind of above and beyond, generous, extroverted, out there, easy to forgive, move on, right? But then I balance this with this moon sign of Cancer when I'm dealing with emotions or hard things that I get deep in my emotions, right? Mm-hmm. And really processing them and ruminating them. So I just had to work that out a little bit, because I was having like this discrepancy with myself. Like it felt like that. Like it felt like an inner conflict within myself, because I had one piece saying, "Hey, bitch, you too cute for this, Leo."
Gorgeous.
Hey, gorgeous. Leo, it is holiday season. We ain't invited to no parties. Don't you got a new outfit to wear? But then I had that Cancer moon in me that's like, bitch, retreat, homebody, stay in the house, don't leave, ruminate, don't move. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like this idea of, just battling that back and forth. And when I became more aware of it, it was easier to work through, because I was beating myself up about it. Because in my head, I was like, fuck this. But in my heart, I was like, sis, I got to just be here on this couch. And I'm not moving through anywhere else but this couch. So it was good to kind of process that. And I think next year I'm going to get a little bit more into my astrology. Y'all know I like it. I'm into that. Mm-hmm. Just a tanksy bit. And just to explore it more, I figure out Cancer, his moon sign is a Taurus, which makes so much sense because he's so stubborn.
I don't even know what none of this stuff means.
It's fine. Very Taurus behavior. Nerum, you got to check in?
First of all, don't talk to me like I'm small or something. I'm saying it right here next to you.
I'm not. And also with the moon sign. So again, the astrology sign you're born is like more of your sun sign. That's more over a month long arching. But the idea with the moon is that the moon is changing like every so many days. So that's why it's more that behind the scene emotion is that. And sometimes you feel like you'll go through the emotions, and when it's done, you're like, damn, why was I even there? Like, you ever just wake up and be like, damn, I feel good. I don't even know why I was in that space, right? The moon, come on.
So, first of all, I'm going to need you not to be harping down on the cancers. Like, I'm just in my cancer feelings.
I am in my cancer.
I'm in my cancer feelings.
I am. No. And it was hard.
No, I'm not going to let you use that shit as an excuse.
Okay, it ain't an excuse. It's the truth.
In my cancer feelings because whatever. Not going to even go down that route.
What? Speak your truth and tell the...
Anyways, your boy Nirma has been practicing self-care. I am the self-care master. Nigga been riding his bike. Been cycling. My ass be hurting. I'm still trying to figure out a good seat or saddle, whatever you want to call it.
Can I say one more thing about my moon sign?
Yes, baby.
So again, that inner conflict I was talking about. Sorry for y'all who hate the astrology piece. I love astrology though. So my sign, Leo, is a fire sign, and then the Cancer sign is a water sign. So again, when those conflict together, you put those together, and they were saying it creates one of two things. So it creates steam, right? And steam can be a good thing, because you're letting off steam. You don't want steam to pile up because it'll explode, right? So it's good to release that. But also the idea that steam burns you. So you have to be careful in the way you create an outlet for your energy. And I'm doing this to come back to you to say you were right, and how I really need to get focused on what my outlet's going to be. Because if I don't have an outlet, that steam will kind of bag up and explode on me, or I'll burn myself on it. So I was doing it to give you a big up.
Oh.
But okay.
Hey, gorgeous.
Come on, Neil.
Let me go ahead and grease your scalp.
Oh, my God.
Let me take down your braids, baby. And just go down the scalp with some hoba oil.
Hoba. Come on.
Joba, whatever. Jehovah Witness oil. Let me just rub your scalp, your body down with that whole Jehovah Witness oil. Anyways, I just been the king of self-care. I've been cycling, getting up with my cycling game. I've been doing some yoga. I've been stretching. I've been doing a little reading, did a little Runner's World reading and other stuff. So I'm cool with that. Other than that, I finished up my other website, the health and fitness website. I'm pretty proud about it. I got a couple more things I need to do to it, but it's live. And I think I'm ready for it. Yeah. I'm getting ready for the wave. The article's supposed to come out, or like the magazine's supposed to hit stands. Well, by the time y'all hear this, it should be already hitting stands on Runner's World. So go pick up that Runner's World. Yes. That January, February edition. And y'all can see my black ass in there.
Okay.
Other than that, what else? What else is going grocery shopping with Nyambi, which is always an interesting trip.
What the hell does that mean?
Because Nyambi always trying to get up on me like, you don't never buy no snacks, but you always eating up my shit.
No, because we'll be at the grocery store, and I'm like, all right, Niram, we'll be done. We'll have our main core list. So I plan out what we're eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Well,
and then
not lately.
Okay, I was in my cancer feelings.
No.
But again, that goes to it, right? The idea of wanting to keep home. So cancers are very particular about their house, and that goes where I always want the trash out.
I'm not going to let you try to manipulate this shit.
I'm not manipulating it. But the thing is, back to the topic at hand, I make meals or plan at least for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then at the end, I say, all right, Niram Wood, now go get what you want for your in-betweens, right? So in between breakfast and lunch, or any snacks or desserts, or just little things you like to snack on. And whenever I tell him to do it, he come back with 1 pack of almonds. I said, okay. We'll put it in the basket. Let's go. Meanwhile, on the ranch, Nyambi got chai tea, matcha tea, candy walnuts, different fruits, dips, snacks, all types of shit, right? Desserts I'm going to try out. I love the appetizer aisle at Trader Joe's, because sometimes when you lunchy and you don't want a full meal, but you don't want no chips or nothing, Nyambi is good for putting in a nice little appetizers in. Like what we do today, we did some wrapped big brie and phyllo dough with a little cranberry relish on it. So I go and buy this stuff, right? And I just buy it for me, because Niram's like, just buy what you need. So I buy enough for Nyambi. And then he'll see me make 1 serving of it. I come back a week later, because I'm not eating it all at once, right? I don't eat it all at once. And I said, oh, Niram, did you see my such and such? And he was like, oh, I ate it. Nigga, I thought you just said you didn't want no snacks. And then he come and be like, oh, I thought we were sharing. I don't mean to eat your food. Do you got to eat to the last drop of it? Because you left me one serving? And then the nigga don't even say it's missing. So we done been to the market multiple times. He know ain't nothing left.
Let me know when I can rebut.
We done passed the aisles. And he ain't never once said, oh, Nyambi, I drank all your matcha tea. You might want to buy some more.
It's time for a rebuttal. Let me know.
That's all I'm asking. It's not that you can't have any. First of all, admit that you want it and I can just buy extra. Second, take a step out of that tourist head of yours and try something different.
Let me know when it's time for a rebuttal.
Or if you're going to eat my shit, we have a big ass whiteboard right on there. We need more. Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, when it comes to these snacks, I'm not really a big snacker. But the thing is, Naomi has these shits in the house. So I try it, and I try it again. And then she'd be like, and then be like 2 weeks later, it's like, well, this shit about to go. Oh, so I just finished eating it. So that's the first thing, because she could just eat it once and then forget about it until like 3 weeks later.
Okay.
So, you can't let that shit last. You know that shit don't last for 3 weeks. First thing. Second thing, she don't act like she don't get a bite of everything that I make and eat.
But the difference is I ask.
Third thing
I ask and I tell.
Third thing is this, is that Nyambi knows that I have no creativity when it comes to meal prepping or any of that type of stuff. If I don't have a recipe, I can't think of nothing off the top of my head.
Whose fault is that?
Your fault, because you enabled me to do this. And fourth thing, nigga, what's yours is mine.
I'm not saying you can't, but I explicitly ask you. And you look me in my face every week and say, I'll just take a pack of almonds.
No.
I said, oh, okay.
And
I'll take some almonds and halos.
And fifth thing, you and your parents, particularly you and your dad, y'all get enjoyment by eating other people's shit.
No.
Yes, y'all do.
What do you mean?
I remember, like, for example, it was a cookie. I wanted it so bad. I set it on the counter. I was like, I'm going to come back and eat this cookie. 2 hours later, I'm looking for the damn cookie up and down. Like, damn, where the fuck I put this cookie at? And she's like, oh, are you looking for a cookie?
Shut up.
Yeah, you know where that cookie at? Oh, I ate that.
It's in my stomach.
When I wasn't vegan, a piece of steak or some shrimp. Prime example, coconut shrimp from Red Lobster.
Oh my God, with that pina colada sauce. Jesus.
I had some for the takeout. I go to work. Now I'm not working. I come back and I'm thinking, well, I got my mouth set for that damn that damn shrimp. Mm-hmm. Like, I've been working all day and I've been thinking about that shrimp. I come back, what happens? Naomi ate up all my shrimp. So I don't want to hear none of that sob story shit about me eating up your shit when you and your family and your dad have this competition about who gonna eat up each other's food so y'all can laugh about it.
Okay, now you done.
So that's my rebuttal.
You're done.
Near one. Evidently you ain't got nothing else to say. See, because you know I won. Facts are facts. So please. Other than that, how y'all niggas doing? Mm-hmm. I hope y'all celebrating Kwanzaa. Are y'all shopping at black-owned businesses and shit? Mm-hmm. Did y'all change y'all name?
What? I don't think they got to change their name.
You got to change y'all name. Y'all got these slave names. Y'all got to change y'all name to something woke.
All right.
But that's what I got, baby. What we got for Pillow Talk? Let's make it short. We already like 30 minutes in.
We said we was going to do a short episode.
We said it was just going to be a 30-minute episode, and we already 30
running
minutes
our
in.
mouths.
All righty, so let's do the outro. So it was good talking to you. What you got?
So much. I got to talk about this. So my favorite Hotep back in the news, Dr. Umar. He just keep digging holes for himself, right? So for y'all who don't know, we'll give a summary. And then I'll say my piece, Neil will say his piece, and we'll go from there. So Dr. Umar, he put on his Instagram that, first of all, so he put on his Instagram, so it looks like the Department of, the Board of Psychology in the department from Pennsylvania has threatened or is having some type of hearing about his credentials, right? Mm-hmm. So these hearings about his credentials probably usually come after some type of complaints or violation of moral code of ethics set by white people, right? Mm-hmm. That's when my Hotep come out, right? So that has come out and it's happening in January 8th. And I'm assuming that behind this, all his credentials could be stripped. Or he doesn't. I'm not sure of his actually. I'm not even being shady. I'm not sure of his credentials. So if he don't have them, they also can go before the board and ask that he's not able to get it, right? So you can have a PhD or a PsyD, but if you don't take board licensure, you can't practice. Does that make sense for y'all?
Right.
So he can still have his PhD. They can't take his PhD, right? But they can take or refuse to provide him with the license based on a violation of whatever the code of conduct or the book of ethics by the state of Pennsylvania, right? Does that make sense? So I don't know which one is going down because I don't dig into Umar that deep, but I'm assuming one or the other is happening. And he put this on Facebook, and of course, talking about niggas, crafty crackers and nifty niggas is coming after him. And he's like, because of this, he was tempted to refund all his money because y'all know he got that GoFundMe for that school, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey. He done did that for a long time, honey. That, or trying to do it. He was gonna get that back, and he was gonna take his monkey ass back to he was going to go back to Africa. I'm trying to clean it up for Kwanzaa. So that's kind of the story. Meanwhile, on the ranch, he's still on his tour where he's talking to the African American community about his biggest things. I would say kind of his core pillars is this thing with ADHD and black males, and saying that, they're misdiagnosing these brothers and it's really something else. Which I don't, that's why I say he's my favorite Hotep. I do think it's something with that ADD and ADHD, what's it called? Prognosis. And I think it looks very different in people of color, or if it doesn't look different, it might need to be treated differently, right? I kind of can rock with him on that. Now, I don't know what his whole philosophy is. I don't know if he like Pence and want them to do electric shock treatment. I don't know. But I can say it's something about that ADD and ADHD, especially in the black community, but especially our black boys, that I do think they're either being misdiagnosed or mistreated. So I will blatantly co-sign on that. There's something going on there. But his other thing, you know how he be talking about the LBGT community reckless, talking crazy. Some of his rhetoric about women, he be out of pocket. Well, y'all know he the Hotep. He's a Hotep. The only reason he gets my favorite one is because, like I said, it'd be like 20% of what he say. I'm like, it might be something there, right? Even this idea of him creating this school. I ain't against a black man saying he creating a school for black boys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I don't know if it should take this long and this much money. Do you see? Yeah. Do you see how I agree with 20 but disagree with the 8? It's the 20/80 rule, but it's reversed. So that's what's going on with our brother Umar. And it's just been a whole lot of shit. I don't know if it's because it's Kwanzaa season and I'm in my empathetic mode and my third eye is open and I'm trying to be more namaste. But niggas is in rare form on all sides of this story, Nearums. So the pro Dr. Umar, I'm going to say Umar. I combine Hotep and Umar. Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar, his folks on 1,000, right? And protesting and petitioning, and they on 1,000. And then the anti-Umar folks is on 100,000 too, right? And I'm like, Jesus, we can't meet nowhere in the middle. Like we can't, as a community, we can't find no space in the middle to be like, yeah, that's fucked up. But this ain't the first time crafty nifty niggas done filed complaint. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Yeah, niggas, we can't see both sides to this. And not saying we need to pat Omar on the back, because he got some, and I'll talk about it. Some of his shit is suspect. But again, just like I said about West, Ta-Nehisi Coates. Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Where you get a K at?
Is Umar need to be our focus. Right? Do you know what I'm saying? When we got President 45 passing shit, does that make sense? Like, again, this should have been like a one-day story, but I don't think it's going to be no one-day story.
No.
And I think that's the mind frame I'm in. What I also want to give a shout out to, and we can start unpacking this now. Michael Harriot on the route. My nigga. Is there awards giving away for most creative title? Because this nigga made me spit out my motherfucking chai tea when I read this. This is the name of it. This is why we named this episode this, y'all. The name of his story in the root, and we're going to link this, connect him somehow. Brother, you are creative. Go out and create your own damn magazine. Leave Root. You run. because you are the creative genius.
You are the Joe Button of Root.
He is the Joe Button of the Root because he made me spit. I said, wait a damn minute. He titled his shit, Umar Johnson announces he's under investigation for Hotep Hogwarts. Nigga. What? And of course, Nyambi's going to read because Nyambi still ain't connect. I said, Hotep Hogwarts?
What?
I'm going to read a little bit of this
Let's
shit.
read more.
It says, this article starts off, it says, it be your own niggas. Negus, Negus, world-renowned Hotepologist and miseducator, doctor in parentheses. Question mark. Umar Johnson has threatened to refund the money he's collected for the invisible Frederick Douglass Dashiki Institute for Black Boys and go back to the motherland after somebody snitched on him to Pennsylvania State Board of Psychologists, triggering an investigation. On Thursday, Johnson posted an Instagram photo of a notice of a hearing from the Pennsylvania Bureau of Professional blah, 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 threatening to move to Africa after his farewell with a Kwanzaa. Asterisk. You put an asterisk in there, and I'm going to the asterisk. Mr. Michael Harriet wrote, I just checked the Guinness Book of World Records and what's this called here? What's these called?
Air quotes.
Air quotes. I'm sorry, I had blank. Says, move to Africa after this farewell Kwanzaa tour is officially the blackest phrase ever written. You're welcome. What is wrong with you, Michael Harriet? I couldn't even get through your shit because I'm crying.
Moved to Africa after his
and then I'm
farewell
gonna read a little
tour.
more of Michael shit. He said the PayPal entrepreneur claimed that he was stripped of his school psychology credentials when he appeared before the board. When he appears before the board on January 8th because, air quote, you ridiculous ingrate snitched onto the white man to try to destroy his dream of teaching young black boys in history. It's the classic crabs in the barrel syndrome. And he just goes on and on and on. And he has cracked me the hell up. So if y'all looking for a good article to read, like, it made me follow this brother. Like, Michael Harriet... Niggas, it gotta be. Can we have awards? Like, that's why I'm saying BET. Like, can there be awards for best headline? He said he called the Frederick Douglass Academy the Hotep Hogwarts. So it's invisible. It ain't real. Like, do you understand the layers to this metaphor? Do y'all understand the layers to this metaphor? The wizardly world.
Nobody can see it, but the wizards.
It ain't real. It's magic.
Only the Hoteps can see it.
Only the Hoteps can see it. Thank you, Michael. You ain't had to go at him this hard, but your writing is brilliant. Thank you, brother. I couldn't even get through this shit. And you, look, Michael, I'm in Kwanzaa. Me and Nia treat Kwanzaa like we in mourning. Like, we try to be different people during Kwanzaa.
These niggas take up the whole week and everything. I can't go to work, do the cultural.
Oh, yeah. Me and Nia don't play with
celebration.
Kwanzaa. Like, I really try to be for the culture.
And then the white people say, oh, what cultural thing? Kwanzaa. And the white people say, oh.
And they're going to say something.
And then they go Google it. Yeah. And they say, okay, well, have a nice one.
Yeah. And I'm just read a couple of these comments. I think it's called The Real Martha Jones 3.0 said, Hotep Hogwarts sound lit throw. Defense against the white arts class. Bitch, I can't. Defense against the white arts.
Yes.
I'm taking it. Yes. It is now Nyambi's. Defense against the white arts. And it said, I would like to be the Black Panther of high fantasy. What is wrong with you all? And then your instructor, Marvel's brother Voodoo. What is wrong with y'all? That's what I'm saying. Michael, you wrote this too good that we distracted. We distracted from the story. We now creating our own Hogwarts world because we're blurs, right? Because I love Harry Potter. So I had to just shout him out. We'll connect that. But Niram, let's get back to the point. You want to say your point or you want me to say some points?
Go ahead.
So first, let's start with the argument helping them.
No, can I?
Look, let's start with that, and then we'll come on round it up.
This sounds like Hotep on Hotep violence. Because the article, he's like, air quote doctor, air quote Umar, air quote Johnson is a fraud, and is this because single black mothers are prolific? This dude isn't for men, black, white, or yellow. His game is to establish an alpha male persona in a conscious, air quote, alpha male and a persona in the conscious, air quote, conscious community to prey on female.
It's just too much. Do you see what I'm saying? Michael, you wrote the shit out this article, but it's way too much, bro. It's way too much for Kwanzaa.
With speeches and donation. And somebody said, this sounds like Hotep on Hotep violence.
It is. It's a lot to put on Umar. I shouldn't say a lot because, you know, he did these things, right? It's just a lot of energy to put on him. Like, I feel like we should have gave him the same energy we gave Papa John's. Like, everybody was like, Papa John got fired. Good for him. What is it? Dr. Umar getting to the board. Okay. Like, that's what we should have put a Jay-Z. Okay. Mm-hmm. Everybody should just sip their teeth like this. Okay.
Okay. So what you were saying, baby?
So what we saying? Are we starting with the positive or the negative? We start because y'all, we can't be one-sided. Y'all know we keep it dirt. We keep it raw. So we got to talk about both sides of this. We're talking about in support of Umar or not in support of Umar. Which one you want to do?
Let's go. Let's drag and then pull them up afterwards.
I don't drag people.
Okay.
I don't believe in that drag culture.
Well, let's pull them up and then give them the flaws later then. Come on.
So what I would say with Dr. Umar. Okay, let me get my thoughts. Okay. He does not have the best track record, right? Like I said before, the idea that he's trying to create this school for black boys, right? That he's trying to be an alternate voice in dialogue for our community, I think is okay, right? Mm-hmm. He's not the only Negro who be on his real homophobic, real sexist shit, but for some reason he's in the spotlight and is getting the most exposure. My thing is, I just think we gave way too much energy to it. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm what I'm personally battling with is how much do you, as you say, Miriam, drag people when shit like this happen? So even I'm thinking about the shit with Omarosa. I'm nowhere near a stand for Omarosa, right? But I have to have some empathy and compassion because she's a black woman and her experiences as a black woman. And knowing that just being a black woman, you're going to be tore down on top. And I don't know if you need me to go piss on it, add gasoline and light a match. I just don't know if that's what I'm doing. I'm not saying I'm about to pick you up and put Neosporin on you, but I'm really getting in a space where it's like, do no harm. And I don't know if that's me being soft, especially when it comes to my own community, but I just battle with that, right? And I know a lot of our black woke folks who speak for us on Instagram, right, say that right is right, wrong is wrong, black or white, I'm going to call a thing out. Niggas, how that worked for us in the past?
When keeping it real goes wrong.
I mean, do you... And I know that's bad. Like, I know I'm logical. I'm educate, book smart, and I've been in the hood, right? But how that work for us? Like, what was your OJ talking about? The Jewish folk? Like, when do you pull in reins in the community? And I'm not saying don't cuss him the fuck out, but do you got to go on CNN and be like that nigga, that like? What is the balance between that?
Well, I hear you.
Do you like? That's what bothers me. Like, because white people do not do that shit.
No, they don't.
And it's a whole lot more of them fucking up. Like, you know what I'm saying? When it's Weinstein, even with the Weinstein's more explicit, but some of these other folks really fucked up, right? Yeah. But you don't see everybody coming out and be like, yeah, they fucked up, fuck them.
But baby, Umar Johnson is the Kanye West of Hotepness.
I'm not saying he's not.
He is though. And the thing is,
and I'm not defending him. I don't want nobody to think I'm defending him. I'm talking about broadly.
And I even got to think, even Kanye, some of the shit he be saying, do be right, but the way he come off, his tone, people don't be liking that shit. You know, way he married that white woman, people like, I do miss the old Kanye. I want that nigga to wear a backpack and some pink polos. Yes. And you be hoping for that nigga to fall because like this nigga on some bullshit. And I think that's the same thing that's going on with Umar. Is that this nigga's outspoken. He rubbed most niggas the wrong way.
Yeah.
And he doesn't.
We have space for that in our community. Like, why is that not okay for us to have folks to have Umar, Ta-Nehisi Coates, and Cornel West all in the same room? Mm-hmm. First of all, it's a problem because I'm all men. I just said, where's Bill Hooks at? Why is that a problem? Like, who is this? And I know I have my own beliefs, right? But who is to say that the way we're necessarily saying is the right, air quote, right way? Right. That's all I'm saying. Like, we're playing the moral Olympics. to say my way is the right way and his way is the wrong way. Do I agree with it? Fuck no. He is sexist. He is homophobic. But when I always battle with those types of big questions to say, well, who the fuck is right? Everybody think they right in their own space and time, right?
Yeah.
Our parents, I'm sure they thought they was pretty progressive back in their day.
Yeah.
And you look at it now, they're like, y'all niggas want no progressive.
No.
And I think our kids gonna look at us like they think they doing something.
I know. Hell.
And we haven't even, I just don't know why I just want us to come together more as a community to say, like, why can't we give it both? To say what he did was wrong and we don't support it. However, boom, boom, boom. Like, it's like, instead of that, it's like the continual drag and finish him, right?
Because this is what this culture is all about.
And it's like, I guess it's the finish him culture. So it's not that you can't give constructive criticism and say this, and that, but it's that finish him type culture that I think we have in our community that people can't even come back.
No.
So it's no room for Omar and Omarosa to ever be like, fuck, you know what, I did fuck up. Chris at Michelle, I did fuck up, y'all.
That was one of your favorite artists.
I love Chris at Michelle.
It's
almost no space for that.
No.
Because it's now you got they back against the wall like, fuck you niggas too.
Right.
So how do we grow as a community?
And you got to choose. Because then, since the culture turned the back on it, now you got to choose. Do you support them because that's your artist and you like the way they sing? Or do you go with the shit that they do and the actions they done?
I know. Again, I know I'm having a broader, I don't want y'all to think I'm not standing for him. He fucked up, okay? Oh. He fucked up, and it shouldn't have took him that long to get that school. And I ain't seen no business plans. I ain't seen no drafts. Like, that's wrong. Like, I want to be very clear this is wrong, but I'm just talking about, so how do we build each other as a community? Mm-hmm. So how do we move through and past this as a community without getting hung up on this, right? Mm. Because the thing is, if we keep citing him as a story, white folks watching too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I battle, right?
It is interesting because when I first heard about this brother in the school, I said, yeah, this is dope. This is amazing. But hell, that was like in 2011 when I first heard about it.
First of all, I've never created a school. I can imagine it takes at least a decade to do it. But brother, as you're creating, we already went to the Dragon Beast. As you're creating this school, you need to provide updates, business plans, partners. You need to hire some folk. Like, that's the stuff. By not doing that, that's showing that you it doesn't. And not saying he did. I don't know what he did with the money or anything. But that doesn't show you making.
In the
progress.
words of Popeye, it makes it seem like this nigga selling snake oil.
Oh, yes. And that's why I'm gonna get to the part where we ain't talking good. But before we get to that part. That's just the piece I have in the culture. Like, how do you bounce back from this? Is he allowed never to bounce back? And he's young. Yeah. Not stupid, obviously.
Evidently not. This nigga got so many damn degrees, like thermometers.
So how do we utilize this in the community, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. Where the black intellects talking to him? Why Cornell talking to
Ta-Nehisi Coates, baby.
Why don't he have a conversation with Umar to be like, bro, let me talk to you. Let me pull you aside.
Maybe because he agree with everything he's saying.
Now you better stop. Now you're starting rumors.
I'm just saying though, because you got to think about.
Come on.
I'm not even thinking about that, but you got to think about the hierarchy when it comes to academia, black academia, and things of that sort, and and the machismo that goes along with this, and the alpha male mentality that goes along with this.
He is definitely, Dr. Umar is definitely a black academic. Absolutely. And I guess maybe that's my thing. Like, this shit ain't y'all niggas never encountered a Dr. Umar? It's Dr. Umar's at every university.
Hell.
Every university, preferably in African American studies, studying something about hip hop in the Wu-Tang Clan. And they have a class named after the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
It is.
It's true.
And when you get to know them, you be like, you is good people. But you got a lot of onions and you got a lot of shit you need to unpack, bro. And you have to see a counselor on that, right? But I guess if you don't have that experience, you'd be like, Hotep, no. What is this? Hogwarts. Hotep Hogwarts.
Yeah.
I guess, again, another metaphor. It is like school. Everything keep coming back. We're going to do this black academic episode. Because I think this got something to do with it. I think because I'm exposed to black academics, I'm like, he just a black academic.
He is a black academic to the fullest. And the thing is about being black academics is that you gotta have on your war paint to deal all the time, and sometimes it gotta be thick, calloused as war paint to deal with these 80s white folks and motherfuckers coming after you. Because the thing about being a black academic or an academic is motherfuckers always challenging your way of thought.
Always.
So now this nigga gotta be extra aggressive to get his point across because he feel like everybody's challenging his thought because that's how academia works.
Yes.
there's always somebody out there who's trying to refute what your claims, so to make it seem like their claims is better than yours.
Yes, that's true.
And I think, you got that's going on. You got, this nigga is super Hotep, and yes, this nigga do got some other things going on. This nigga is sexism. This nigga is homophobic. Yeah. But the thing is, hell, there's a lot of niggas like that.
Come on.
Shit.
Come on.
Uncle Junebug.
Hey.
I'm just saying.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Uncle John, all these niggas, it's a lot of niggas who
speaking for a generation. Come on.
Exactly. That's more or less what I'm getting at.
On.
Even though you think about, and this is just taking it back to like the everyday struggle and shit like that, where you got academics who's speaking for a different generation versus Joe Budden who's speaking for a different generation. And I think he's speaking for a different generation, Umar Johnson. And when that generation was popping, everything he said was right. You take it back to the poetic justice days when niggas was wearing African t-shirts and Malcolm X shit. Yes. Everything he's saying, them niggas would have rolled for it. Yeah. Period, point blank. Yeah. But right now, and the generation that we in, that shit ain't gonna rock. And niggas ain't rocking with that. Yeah. And for him and his population, that's gonna cater to a certain group where he can go out and go speak and things of that sort. But for the general population and the way that we going, it ain't gonna work. Yeah. And it just falls down that this nigga was in the wrong generation. I'm for real. Because that poetic justice
Johnny
days,
Hathaway, a different space, a different time.
If the poetic justice ways, the Fresh Print days when motherfuckers was wearing the Malcolm X hats,
it could have rocked.
And African medallions and all that shit, everything this nigga saying, they would have enjoyed that shit and would ate that shit up, and I bet his ass would have had a school by then.
The Hogwarts.
Yeah, Hotep Hogwarts. Because then motherfuckers was rolling with that. Yeah. Motherfuckers ain't rolling with that now.
No.
And I think that's the problem. Yeah. And, with that nigga being a loudmouth and everything else like that, they going to come for his ass and they going to drag his ass and they want that nigga to be down.
Yeah. And then, I think this is my education and empathy background. Then we can get on to kind of the more, I think we already transitioned to the dragon piece. Yeah. But so when do you focus on the person or the behavior? Mm-hmm. Are they one and the same? So is this behavior or is this the person, right? Mm-hmm. When do we get to the point that this is a human black man? Just like you human got feelings, cuts, and emotions, and you done fucked up. Like, I just think when we doing all this stuff, and again, not validating what he did, right? But we all got to hit past. We all done did fucked up shit, and it ain't been Instagram headlines. No. And until your name is in them headlines, you don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. That's all.
I get it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of things that a lot of people don't think of. Like, even
if we go put with the worst shit you done did, your most embarrassing moment, your worst tweet, because nobody cares because you only got 3 followers.
Right.
But if you go and really do that.
And the thing is, everybody's like, well, motherfuckers go rot in jail and all this other shit. They deserve jail time. You got motherfuckers who killed people.
Come on.
Motherfuckers who
you done witnessed who done shot somebody and they say, that's what I'm saying. Wait a minute, y'all.
You got niggas who kill people. You got motherfuckers who molesters and rapers and
come in your family that you know. Come on. But we on Umar because he come on. Again, not agreeing what he did, but if we breaking down levels to this shit, be careful.
Yeah, who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah, this selective morality shit now. We have to be very careful on the rocks that we throw. Because them bitches might bounce ricochet back on that.
Yeah, hit your ass in the fucking face.
Fucking eye. Where'd that come from? So I think whenever things like this, I'm just hyper aware to that because I always got to focus back on Nyambi, right? Because I think your initial reactions on this is always kind of a projection.
Go with the crowd. The crowd is dragging his ass.
So I'm gonna drag too. And I want to keep saying Nyambi don't believe he did what was right, but I don't know if we need to take the time and energy what we need to do that when we need to be gathering and preparing for this 2018 election.
True.
Opposite side, it shouldn't take him this long to get a damn school. He got a lot of money too. He got like a $500,000. The thing is, he don't got to get a campus, nigga. You don't got to. All you need is a building, and you need to go somewhere where it's cheap cost of living. Okay. And you're connected in the academic community. All the people with AFAM degrees is looking for jobs. Hire a few of them. Get you an internship program. Especially with the fame you're getting now, that school should have been up and running, bro. Maybe not to the level you sought it to be, but you could have had a building with 1 or 2 floors with your first class of boys coming up in there. I do agree with that.
But that's what you didn't want, though.
I gotta get both sides of the story.
That's too small scale for black men.
As an academic, I'm giving you both sides. I gave him benefit of the doubt, but now I gotta speak my facts.
That's too small for.
But the thing is having common sense. So when you know the public's eye on you, and you have not had any tangible things to bring, you have to, when you fucking with people money, you have to have tangibles.
Naomi said, at least give me a paper.
Give me a business plan, give me a progress, give me a timeline, give me an advisory board, give me some other folks on here, right, that I can hold accountable. Give me some pilot studies. Maybe you can't do a school. Can you do like a 2-week immersion program? It's steps you can take.
Yeah.
And he's not stupid. He knows this, right? That's why I hold him to a higher standard. It ain't like this nigga do just pretending and don't know. He got a PsyD, Ed, some type of terminal degree. He know what the fuck a pilot study is. He know the scientific method. Take this shit through the scientific method. That's what you have to do to people, right? As a grad student, I know that. And he could have did something. He could have even set up a PayPal for the pilot program. He had to pay for that. And the thing is, when you get to messing with people money, Umar, you can't do that. It's not like you getting donors from companies, right? Sponsorships. You fucking with people money. True. And somebody might have donated $5, $10, but that's $5, $10 could have got food. So that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Secondly, let that shit go with Frederick Douglass. Let it go. Just let it go, because niggas always gonna want receipts. And until you got the receipts, just let it go, Umar. If you know you related to Frederick Douglass, that's all that matters. In my head, I'm related to Harriet Tubman. Somewhere. And also Billie Holiday. But we won't go there. Just let it go. Again, the academic mind. When do you let it go? Because you don't have what? Facts and receipts. It is not valid. You do not have evidence. Your p-value is what?
0.
Insignificant. Let it go. Drop it.
It's greater than 0.05.
Your hypothesis, your null is what? Your null hypothesis is what? Come on, grad students. That null hypothesis is what?
I could not fail to reject the null.
Let that shit go. You got bigger shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Next point. Stop talking about the gay people. Stop bringing it up. Your focus should... I need to take you to the Matthew Knowles School of Business. Or what's it called? What's it called when you're in front of people? Performance art, whatever. Yeah. Stop talking about the LGBTQ communities. Stop it. Because every time you open your mouth, you get a new news story. Stop it. And when people bring it up, what you do, you bounce back and you talk about the Hotep Hogwarts. Dr. Omar, how do you feel about the LGBT community? Well, when I open Hotep Hogwarts, that's something we'll be able to explore with the gentleman. Hotep Hogwarts. That's all. Like, keep your eye on the motherfucking prize. Right? Lastly, this ADHD. Like I said, I think it's some truth to this ADHD. I believe it's real. I believe this is this, right? But I do think people of color and communities of color, I think it's triggered differently. I think it presents itself differently. And I think diagnosis and treatment do need to be different. And I think white folks don't be caring, and they just gonna do what they did for their white folks. Because it's not enough of our brown children, our brown people who are being present in these trials and these experiments, right? To really see what the outcomes are and what the longitudinal effects are, not only with medications or lack of medication. Like, I think it is something to that. Yeah. Now, I don't know what else he's saying about this ADHD, and he probably talking about something crazy off the rail. I don't know, but I do think it is something about that. And I think it's up to our community as Black scholars to take that ownership on and move forward that. So he had that fact. But if he's talking stupid about how that ties to sexuality and homosexuality, no. You do not talk about sexuality. That is not your area of expertise. Nope. Respect the degree. Respect your area of expertise. Your area of expertise is adolescence. Don't be talking about sexual orientation. You did not get your degree in gender studies or sociology. Stay on your... They teach you that in grad school. Yeah. You stay in your area of expertise. Nigga, I don't have nothing else to say. I done got back upset. I was just trying to take up for the brother a little bit. Ease the blow a little bit. But Umar, focus. And the thing is, if he just focused, right? If he just got motherfucking tunnel vision and focused on Hotep Hogwarts, getting these brown boys in, supporting them, helping treat their ADHD, building up their self-esteem and confidence, no one will have a problem. Even if in his head, he believed this stupid shit, right? Because even with the young kids, you ain't impersonating all that shit on them, right? Because he getting a baby school, right? So we talking about colors. So we ain't talking about we not there yet, right? And the thing is, hopefully he got enough sense to hire folks who know more than he do about that area, right? Because he's just a visionary over it. I just don't know. I hope they don't strip his license. Because, Jesus, we do need some black psychologists. I don't know. Something about that, though. Now y'all don't, and I'm with the, who done snitched to the board of psychology? What did they tell on him about? I'm curious about that. I think that's what my academic piece. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, you see,
I come to academic right. Look, what the fuck are you talking about?
You see all these claims.
I see those are the claims that they can bring him up on.
Yeah,
but if that's the fact, you can go write anybody up. It got to be something more significant than I don't like what he's saying. Well, go get a PhD and you write something. That's why only 2% of the population have it, right? Like and I think that's like it's not enough for us to be like, I don't like what he says, so I want him to be stripped of his license. That's not fair.
No.
Now, if he really did something, and what's gonna get him in trouble is if someone with this money. I keep going back to the coin. Now, if someone going with this money, and you doing under the name of being a doctor, they get your ass on that. But just him not having the same core values, that's not enough to strip his fucking license.
No.
And if that's the fact, can we go line up all the racist ass white motherfuckers in Mississippi and pull up the roster? And I think that's what the double standard is. We'll pull up the fucking roster on the racist ass white people. Because you can't tell me there's no psychologist out there who is backing out and saying that white people are a supreme race. You cannot tell me there's not somebody who's doing literature on that.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody pulling up they fucking licenses.
No.
You see what I'm saying? Again, not agreeing with Umar, but fuck. Why are we so... Niram, you can clean this up. Y'all done got me upset. I'm done. This is supposed to be a quick episode. We already talking to... We ain't even mentioned damn Kwanzaa yet. Niram, come on. Anything?
Baby, you didn't got a lot. You didn't said a lot. It's a lot to unpack. I'm just trying to calm down. So let's just take it. Go ahead and drink you some water.
Drink me some water now. I can't drink no more chai tea. That caffeine done got to me.
You done got raw.
That caffeine done got in my brain. And I started off trying to be sweet and compassionate. Look, I'm the woman they talking about taking up for him.
Right.
He talking about he take advantage of a single black woman. What did he say? What that nigga say? And I'm with him. This Hotep on Hotep.
This is Hotep on Hotep. I think, it's a lot. Like you said, it's an onion. So there's a lot of different layers that's going on.
And people trying to make it cut and dry.
It's not cut and dry. It lives in the area that I love to live in, and that's gray.
Yeah.
Did this nigga do a lot of fucked up things?
Yes.
Did this nigga say a lot of fucked up things?
Yes.
Yes. Do this nigga got some valid points?
Yes.
Yes. So where do we stand on this?
Yeah.
It's like what's the name of that podcast I listen to? It's like The Nod. It's the name of the podcast. They had a segment where it's called Good for the Blacks.
Yeah.
Is Dr. Umar good for the blacks? Because some of the shit he say, I rock with him with that.
Yeah. But some of the shit he say, Jesus, no.
When you was talking about, marrying a black woman and how, marriage is a form of
political warfare.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But that gay shit he be talking about?
Stupid.
I be like, leave the fucking gays alone, dog.
They did nothing to you.
Like, what happened to you, bro?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Why are you so concerned?
Why are you concerned with the girl with somebody who somebody else laying down with?
Yeah.
You ain't fucking them.
And the thing is, to counteract to that, he should be like, well, if you gay, you need to be with a black man. Like, that's what I was waiting for him to be like.
Yeah.
Simple. But okay. I digress.
So, that and then, I think about that sexism shit.
Yes.
You gotta go. But, I think the vision of this school, this Hotep Hogwarts, which
oh my goodness, Michael Harriet. Jesus, you're brilliant.
Shall it be claimed now? Hotep Hogwarts.
Hotep.
It got a point. Like it's like K through 12 of the black college of the K through 12.
Yeah.
And I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like I that would have been a bomb ass idea.
Yeah.
And I see what people talking about, like this nigga taking so damn long to get this shit out.
Without no tangibles, that's way too long.
He ain't give us no
nothing. Nigga, nah.
No nothing.
Nothing.
And this nigga just going on speaking tours and shit. The Kwanzaa Farewell Tour.
He said that's the blackest thing ever written. Oh my, don't bring Kwanzaa into this.
Michael Harriot, this nigga is the GOAT.
Yeah.
I just checked the Guinness Book of World Records and moved to Africa after his farewell Kwanzaa tour is officially the blackest phrase I've ever read.
Come on. It is.
So, I think it's a catch-22 because some of the shit he be saying, you be like, yeah, we need somebody to say this shit. And then other shit, you be like, this shit is problematic.
Yeah.
So at what point do you be like, do you take the good shit with the bad shit or the bad shit with the good shit?
And knowing people's human, right?
And knowing that everybody's flawed.
Yeah.
In some shape or form. This nigga is not the Hotep savior.
Okay. It's not.
No.
He ain't going to be the first and he ain't the last.
He ain't the last. Because I even say, during the poetic justice phase, motherfuckers have been eating that shit up. Yeah, we think about hell. What Cornell West we saying? That nigga say some problematic shit too.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, y'all let us know how y'all feel.
What y'all feel on this?
About Brother Umar.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm gonna put respect. Dr. Umar.
Doctor.
I ain't say no parentheses.
Mm-mm.
Y'all let us know how y'all feel about it. All righty. The next topic is, it's supposed to be the heart of the damn podcast, but Umar done got us distracted, honey. Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa, y'all.
Kwanzaa.
So what we're going to do in this episode is kind of break down kind of what Kwanzaa is for folks who don't know, because we realize we just assuming folks know what it is because you're black, right? That's not true. So we're going to kind of break down what Kwanzaa is, the structure of it, how it was created, the purpose of it, and then our next podcast, we're going to kind of break down how we actually celebrate it, right? So what do the actual actions look like? And by that time, we've actually go through and do some stuff. So that'd be more conversational. So Niram, you want to start?
Yeah, so Kwanzaa.
Yeah, was created
by Mulana Karenga.
Dr. Karenga. Doctor, put respect now. We don't call Dr. Umar Dr. Umar.
Okay.
Make sure.
Mulana
Karenga. How you say it?
Mulana.
I always call him just Dr. Karenga.
Did you say Dr. Karenga? Because you can't get that first name right.
Yeah, that N be tearing me up.
So Dr. Karenga created Kwanzaa back in 1966. And his goal was to create the first African-American holiday. And in his own words, he said to give blacks an alternative to existing holidays and give blacks an opportunity to celebrate themselves and history rather than simply imitating the practices of the dominant society.
Preach.
Ooh, that's some Hotep shit right there.
Nope, we're not doing this. We're in Kwanzaa mode right now.
No.
So we're not.
Kwanzaa is some Hotep shit.
It is. A little bit, if you let it. If you let it, it can be. Anything can be Hotepized. Okay?
The opportunity to celebrate themselves and history rather than simply imitate the practice of a dominant society.
He said, niggas do our own shit instead of worry about what the white crackers do. That's what it says. So the name Kwanzaa comes from the phrase in Swahili called Mutanga Yi Kwanzaa. That translates to the first fruits of the harvest. The holiday is actually based on African agricultural rites and communal activities. One of the holiday's main goals is to cause those of African descent to look back on their cultural roots as a source of celebration. Again, so Kwanzaa is this African American and Pan-African holiday which celebrates family, community, and culture. It's celebrated from December 26th, so the day after Christmas, all the way through January 1st. And as I said before, the origins is based on that first harvest celebrations of Africa, where it gets its name. Mm-hmm. So the first fruit celebration, to give y'all more information about that, was recorded back in African history as far back as kind of that ancient Egypt and Nubia era. And it appeared in also like modern times, so the African civilization and like Yoruba land and all that good stuff. I don't want to go too Hotep-y. Niram, tell me if I go too deep.
All right.
So again, it kind of comes from those things. So Kwanzaa is, the way that they really break it down is Kwanzaa is a time of gathering the people, your brown people, to affirm the bonds between them. Would you agree with that, Nero?
Yeah.
Also, it's a time to of special reverence for the Creator in creation, giving thanks and respect for those blessings and those around you, right? So I see that as more of the ancestors, right?
Yeah.
Next is a time for commemoration of the past and pursuit of its lessons and the honors of its models and human excellence in our ancestors. Next is a time of commitment to our highest cultural ideas and our ongoing efforts to always bring forth the best African culture throughout practice. And lastly, it's the celebration of the good of life and existence of itself, the good of family, community, and culture. It's the good of the awesome and the ordinary in the world that's all around us. Does that make sense? So it's really about celebrating who we are, so our past, right?
Yep.
So the folks who came before us, right? Celebrating and appreciating where we are now, and also celebrating and appreciate what's to come. And all that encompasses that through culture, and giving us space and time to actually do that, right? So when was the last time you be like, I just want to give thanks for my ancestors? You're going to do that numerous times during Kwanzaa.
Sure
and
is.
really have time to have the conversation about that. Because if you think about other cultures, there's space for that. So if you think about the Latino population, they have the Day of the Dead where there's like this acknowledgement towards that. But we really don't have that in the African American community where you really give that reverence, right, to the ancestors and folks who've came before us, right?
Yeah. So you want me to talk about the values of Kwanzaa?
Yeah, go ahead and talk a little bit about the values.
So there's no way to understand and appreciate.
Yeah, don't do that. You're not going to read this like an audible.
What? I'm trying to show my range to show niggas that I got this shit and we can work together. So there's no way to understand and appreciate the meaning and the message of Kwanzaa without understanding and appreciating its profound and pervasive concern with values. So, in fact, Kwanzaa's reason for existing and its length of 7 days, its core focus, and its foundation are all rooted in its concern with the values. Kwanzaa inherits this value, concern, and focus from...
Like this African framework.
So, from the African philosophical framework in which it was created. And its philosophy is a communitarian African philosophy, which is an ongoing synthesis of the best African thought and practice and the constant exchange with the word.
Yes. So when we're talking about these values, it really comes down to this idea of the Nguzo Saba. I always say that wrong. You and me always kid me.
Nguzo Saba.
What did I say?
I don't know. You said goose or something.
I always call it in Saba.
Yeah.
And what that really translates to is the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. So that's what that translated to. So Kwanzaa was created to introduce and reinforce these 7 basic values of African culture, which contribute to building and reinforcing family, community, and culture amongst us. These values, as I said, are called the Nguzo Saba, which in Swahili means the 7 principles. And this also was developed by Dr. Karenga. The Nguzo Saba stand at the heart and the origin and the meaning of Kwanzaa. For these values are not only the building blocks for the community, but also serve to reinforce and re-enhance them. Mm-hmm. So, Niram, do you want to read through the Nguzo Saba? That's when my Midwest come out. In saying how these relate to each day. So each day of Kwanzaa has a correlating principle that goes with it.
Right.
So, the first day is about, I'll let you read it. I just want to make sure they understand. They be like, principles? What the hell is y'all talking about?
So each day has a theme. Principle. So there's 7 days.
Yes.
Each day is a principle that's supposed to be celebrated or focused on throughout. So each principle has a meaning that goes along with that day. Yes. So the first day of Kwanzaa is Ujamaa, and that means unity, and that's to strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and the race.
And don't worry, on our next episode, y'all, we're going to break down these 7 principles, and we're going to tell y'all what we do. Because I know now we're giving you the foundation, and like I said, it could be a little Hotep-y, but the thing is, what I like about Kwanzaa is that you can make it your own, right? Do I go through and be singing Swahili rituals and shit? No. That's not what identifies with Nyambi. I'm civil rights black. So I'm doing civil rights black things, and I'm doing stuff that connects me to my culture, right? And how I identify and help me to navigate. So I just want to be clear. We giving the foundation because we putting respect on Dr. Karenga's name. But the next episode, we're going to break it down to y'all how we celebrate it and know that that's what the beauty is of Kwanzaa. You make it your own, right? And you don't have to be in the constructs of what everybody thinks you're supposed to do.
Day 2 or principle 2 is Kuji Chakalia.
Yes, that is my favorite word.
Yeah, that is my favorite word. I just like the way it just falls.
Roll off my tongue.
Like,
Ooh, it sounds civil rights. Kuji Chakalia.
You can't even get it out. Kuji Chakalia.
You mean I can't get it out?
What you say?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, and that means self-determination to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. That's
a word.
The next one is
That's
Ujima.
Today. No, I'm just going.
The next one is
today,
Ujima, or collective work and responsibility, to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and our sisters' problems our problems to solve them together.
That's how I was going with Dr. Umar.
So we got to make Dr. Umar's problems
our problems
so we can solve them together.
Come on. See, that's hard when you in the Kwanzaa spirit. You think of like that.
Yeah.
If I wasn't in the Kwanzaa spirit, every nigga for theyself.
Oh, okay.
Okay, come on.
The next principle is Ujama, and that means cooperative economics.
Get your money.
To build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses, and to profit from them together.
That money.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to really talk about that because I don't think we ever talk about it, but this idea of banking black. And remember, what's it called? The susu?
Yeah.
When you pour the money together.
Susu,
and man, so much stuff you can talk about.
Mm-hmm. This one is named after my homeboy, Nia, and its purpose to make collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness.
Come on.
The next one is Kumba, and its creativity to do always as much as we can in a way in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited.
Our generation is thriving in Kumba. When it comes to creativity, the inner worlds, I would say our generation is winning at that. What do you think?
Hey, shout out to Black Love Matters podcast.
Hey, this was our Kumba.
This ain't nothing but Kumba right here.
So when we talk about Kumba, we have to talk about what our vision is moving forward with this and how do we grow it. I think it's that book. It's time. I think we see that book manifesting. Oh, I'm already talking about shit. Come on.
The last and seventh principle is Imani.
All y'all to name your kids Imani didn't even know what this means.
Right. And that means faith. To believe with our heart in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and the victory of our struggle.
Ooh, come on. So again, remind them, Nira. So those 7 principles are the
Nguzo Saba.
And those are so it's 7 days in Kwanzaa. Every day correlates to
with a principle. Yeah.
And then the activities or whatever you do is around that. And that's the idea that you're focused on that. And that's these principles not only should be grounding you in Kwanzaa, but it's kind of how you navigate through your life, right? So those are the things. And that's some stuff we wanted to bring up to you is kind of the symbols of Kwanzaa. And so Kwanzaa has 7 basic symbols and 2 supplementary ones. So each represents values and concepts reflective of the African culture and contribute to the community. The basic symbols in Swahili, in English, I'll give you. So first, think of, so you know how the Christmas tree, this one I have to break this down, right? Represents kind of the traditional westernized idea of Christmas, and how Hanukkah, what is it called, the menorah?
Yeah.
Am I saying that right? And the candles represents Hanukkah in the
dreidels and stuff.
Yeah, and that tradition. Kwanzaa also has kind of like these different symbols. The word that I really want to use is escaping me.
Oh, tchotchkes.
Not tchotchkes. It's not just something you put on a medal. It's something important. Like it's, I don't want to say ritualistic, but like they're these symbols, right? Yeah. That you keep.
Staples.
Yeah. And so one of them are crops. So the idea is for Kwanzaa, you're supposed to, or you can, one of the tradition is somewhere in your house, have like this little area or table set up. And on the table, you will have like different, they call it crops, but it's different like harvest. So these harvests are symbolic to the African harvest celebration and the rewards of the productive and collective labor for the community. So, we up in white ass New England, we don't got thick ass harvest. We ain't do no harvest. Right. Although we tried that year to do your garden. Remember we tried to do your garden so we can have for the Kwanzaa. Then we put some sage on the table. Right, I think all we got was some parsley.
Some sage and parsley in that bitch.
We said this is what we worked with our hands. Remember from Nova, from Queen Sugar. We did this with our hands.
Yes.
But things that we do up here, we'll get like yams, like black eyed peas, pineapple, mango, like stuff like that we'll put on there. Because the idea is at the end of all of Kwanzaa, there's this big celebration, and usually just chop up the fruit you have, because it's New Year's Day, you might as well make them black eyed peas. Like, that's what it's for.
Right.
And then you have something, you have a mat. So you put the mat down first, and then you usually have a basket that you put the fruit in. And the mat is symbolic of the tradition of history and thereafter. So the foundation on which was built. And then you have the kinara, or the candle holder. So this is symbolic to the roots and the parents of the people. So we kind of have our candle holder too, like the folks for Hanukkah, like our Jewish brothers and sisters for Hanukkah. So we have our own candle holder too. Mm-hmm. And then something that they always do when I was talking about the roots is a lot of times that there's corn. Mm-hmm. Corn is something that we always put down, and something that's always there, because that's symbolic of the children in the future, which is coming to past. Mm. And then next is those 7 candles. So we had that kinara, you have to put candles in there. So these 7 candles are symbolic of the Nguzo Saba. Remember those 7 principles we talked about? Each principle has a different date. And what they do, they break down to like the different colors, and the colors break down to lighting the candles each day, right? So each day you start Kwanzaa or whatever activity you're doing, you're supposed to light the candle that corresponds to that principle. Does that make sense? And throughout the whole week, you'll continue to light all of those. Mm-hmm. And then next, you'll have the unity cup. So this unity cup is symbolic of the foundational principles and practice, which makes everything possible. Gifts. So these symbolic of the labor and love of parents and the commitments made that they kept to the children. So this idea of gifts is something where you can get creative, right? Mm-hmm. So this is usually whoever you celebrate Kwanzaa with, you get them some type of gift. Some people give gifts every day. Some people just give gifts at the end, at the beginning. It's really up to you on how you want to do the gifts, but you would put them on the table also. And then something else that are more the supplementary things is actually the flag. So it's like that Pan-African flag, so the black, red, and green flag, how the black stands for the people, red for the struggle, and green for the future and hope. And that flag also corresponds to the candles. So the candles should be red, green, and black. And as I said, red is for the struggle, come on, the blood. Black is for the people, and green is for the future and moving forward. And that's called to tie it all to Marcus Garvey and kind of his nationalism for like African American people and things through that. And then lastly, a copy of the Nguzo Saba, so you can always reflect to it and moving forward. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Did I kind of summarize it now? Yeah. But again, these are just like the foundational things. The way you remix and the way you do it, if you don't have a kinara, all you got is tea candles, that's red, that's white, that's okay. That don't mean you can't celebrate Kwanzaa.
Right. Paint them bitches black, red.
If you don't got your wooden mat, go in grandma's kitchen and just get one of them mats. Put some paper down. Like, it's ways to be creative with it. Like, you do not have to go on 10. It's really about bringing family together and having conversations. And, I think it goes back to that Fruit of Harvest festival, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a celebration. It's a very reflective period. And I think it's very intentional that it happens right after Christmas and goes into the new year, because usually at the end of Kwanzaa, there's this celebration. Mm-hmm. So it's this reflection and celebration. So these are the things I've learned. This is what's happening. This is where I want to move forward. And this is what we're going to celebrate in it, right? So I think that's what's really beautiful about it. And every year there's a theme for Kwanzaa. And there's a message from Dr. Karanga. This year the theme is practicing the principles of Kwanzaa, repairing, renewing, and remaking our world. So we'll be sure to link that for y'all. So if y'all want to read it, I know I'm going to take a few days to read it a little deeper and come back and flesh it out to you all. But I think that is just the beauty of Kwanzaa. And that's foundationally what Kwanzaa is. Now, our next episode, we're going to show you what that means in practice. And we civil rights black, so it's going to look very different.
Yes.
If you're not civil rights black, if you're from continent black, if you're from the island, all that can be different. But I think that's what's the beauty of Kwanzaa.
If you're black dignitary, it's going to look different from us.
Black bourgeois.
If you're black bourgeois, it's going to look different from us.
I mean, just to show the wide variety, I think it was on Instagram, Brooklyn got a Kwanzaa bar crawl.
Can we go?
I was thinking about it, but it's just so many ways you can do it. What's your thoughts on Kwanzaa, Niram, or like what it means to you, or like what's your when you first started celebrating it, compared what you thought it was?
I didn't know what I thought it was. I thought it was just some Hotep shit where niggas be talking about the ancestors,
because you do ask the ancestors for guidance,
and they light incense, and they
create seances
like that. Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, and what is it?
It's nothing like that. It's definitely like, truthfully, the best way to think of Kwanzaa is like getting together with like some of your closest friends and friends and family, and it's talking real shit for 7 days.
Yeah.
And sometimes that shit can be draining.
Yeah.
Because y'all start bringing up old dusty dirt.
Because you have to process with your shit, right?
You got to process all your shit.
Because you can't talk about the community and broadly what the African American community do without focusing back to you. And I think that's what the Kwanzaa don't be telling you. Like, oh, you like, oh, for our people. But it's like, you got to put your life mask on first, right? So what the fuck is going on with you to get to that point?
So this is usually where a lot of come to Jesus moments come through at.
Tears
with some of your friends and family, tears and laughter. And sometimes friends don't be friends no more after this. But
light them candles and leave.
But it's a lot. It's very multifaceted. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's draining. It's all those things wrapped up in one in 7 days.
Yes.
And it really depends on it's since black people don't have their own traditions, or we was taken and raped and pillaged from our own traditions, that Kwanzaa is something that you can make it your own.
Yeah.
We had it where we've done all 7 days, but we also had it where it was been a bridge where it's been 2 days.
Yeah.
Hell, we even had it when it was just one day.
Yep.
And it's just 7 hours long, and we just go from breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yep.
So, what about you?
I did on there for a change. Nyambi don't got much to say, but I think what's not focused a lot, like I think what's big is the idea of community, but I think Kwanzaa is great for self-work. Mm-hmm. So Kwanzaa is great for self-work. If you need focus, if you need clarity, if you need help redefining and realigning your goals and values, I think this is a great place and space to do it. And be unapologetically you and not have the constraints of all the other stuff's going on, right? So I think Kwanzaa provides that space and time to do it, because it takes time and space to do these things. It's hard to just create your goals off rip. Yeah. And it's hard to do it in isolation. So I think Kwanzaa helps you process this thing within a community instead of doing it in isolation. I think something I seen on Instagram, I think it was from Black Girl Ohm, and it says the world doesn't understand sad black girls. And like, that's a question I'm gonna bring to Kwanzaa, right? So what does that mean? Why don't they understand sad black girls? And why did that resonate with me so much? Like, and why did that resonate with everyone? Like, those are conversations you can bring, right, to the table and help flesh those things out. And also it's a place where people call your whatchamacallit? Call your bluff.
Call your bluff.
To say, nigga, this is your goal?
Yeah.
Nigga, that been your goal for a long time.
Right.
I ain't look, Dr. Umar should have came to Kwanzaa, because we wouldn't have had that. Where's the school at?
Umar, you got all these people money. Where the school at? What an update.
Like, and that's what it is for Kwanzaa. And with our group of friends, it don't stop at Kwanzaa. So we do check-ins where we either do it monthly, quarterly, or every 6 months.
Yeah.
Where it's like, so
Kwanzaa update. Jesus, I hate when those emails come in.
So I just think that's type of thing. So it helps you process internal stuff with the support and non-judgment of your community. There's no judgment there, and you can really go through and and be in touch with your side and be okay with that. And it's a good time of the year to do it.
It is.
Good food, good fellowship, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and it leads right up to the new year. So
perfect timing, right? This was a great episode. You have anything else, Nero?
No. Harambe, niggas.
Harambe. And our next episode, we're going to flesh out kind of what our Kwanzaa looks like, right? So we're going to flesh out kind of what we did for Kwanzaa, or what we plan on doing for Kwanzaa, or so maybe some stuff we have done. Maybe that's the ideas we can give. We'll give all around some stuff we have done, and we can talk through each of the principles and kind of say what they mean to us, right? Moving forward in 2018. And then we'll probably have one last one where we kind of do full circle. Maybe I'm thinking of our first episode in the new year. Maybe talk about goals or something.
Yeah, we can talk about goals.
We usually do our personal goals. We told y'all around our birthday.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like couple goals, how like overarching, we usually do that at the first of the year. But personal goals are usually around our birthday.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Anything else in your arms?
No.
All right, you gonna close us out?
Yeah. So as always, to submit your Black Love story, go to blacklovematters.com. To submit a question about kitchen table talk, shoot us an email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. Remember, that's black with no K. To leave us a comment about anything that we talked about on the show, go to blacklovematters.com. We got that SoundCloud, or you can leave us a voicemail, and that's at 508-784-1111. That's 508-784-1111. Talk to y'all later, and remember, love is always...
It's ever evolving.
It's always ever evolving.
Harambe.
Harambe, niggas.
Oh, my God. Bye.
Bye.